Welcome back to my laboratory. You wish to learn another of my secrets to absolute domination. Very well. Behold my latest creation, Hearthhull, the Worldseed. It may look like a mere spacecraft to your simple eyes, but it is a weapon of planetary consumption. I must first station it, feeding it the power of my lesser creatures. Once it has a taste of power, I can begin my true work, sacrificing the very land beneath my feet to draw cards and accelerate my plans. And once it is fully awakened, it becomes a flying, vigilant, hasty harbinger of doom that bleeds my opponents every time I tear a land from the earth. Their foundation will be my ammunition. You see, a true mastermind understands that everything is a resource. Your pathetic attachment to your permanence is your weakness. My engine of victory begins with sacrifice. My pet, the Gitrog Monster, demands a land from me each turn, and in return, it rewards me with an extra land drop and a card every time a land enters my graveyard. A beautiful, vicious cycle. The delightful Braid's Arisen Nightmare allows me to offer up any permanent at the end of my turn, forcing my rivals to either match my sacrifice or bleed life while I draw cards. And when I need to truly restock my hand, the magnificent God Eternal Bontu descends, allowing me to sacrifice my entire board of worthless lands and creatures to draw an obscene number of new cards. But you are asking, Master, what happens when you have no lands left? You fool! My graveyard is merely my second hand. With Crucible of Worlds or its lesser echo, the Ramunap Excavator, I can play lands directly from my graveyard, as if they were never gone. The Ice-Till Explorer provides this same exquisite ability, with the added benefit of milling my library to ensure my graveyard is always perfectly stocked with fuel for my engine. There is no loss, only a transfer of resources. Every piece has its purpose. Why let my lands sit idle when they could be protecting my assets? The Sylvan Safekeeper allows me to sacrifice a land at any time to grant one of my creatures Shroud, making it untouchable. The elegant Zuran Orb converts my useless soil into life, ensuring I can weather their pathetic attempts at aggression. And for the ultimate defense, Constant Mists allows me to prevent all combat damage, and I can buy it back again and again by simply sacrificing a land. I can stall their pathetic assaults indefinitely. Now that the engine is built, it is time to accelerate their demise. One land per turn is for commoners. Azusa, Lost But Seeking, allows me to play 2 additional lands each turn. The Dryad of the Elysian Grove grants me another extra land drop and turns all of my lands into every basic type, a delightful bonus for later. And my other spacecraft, the Exploration Broodship, also grants an extra land drop once it is stationed. 3, 4, 5 land drops a turn. Do you see the inevitability yet? Every land drop is a footstep of an approaching titan. My true win conditions are born from the earth itself. The glorious Omnath, Locus of Rage, greets every land drop by creating a massive 5/5 elemental. And when those elementals die, they become a 3 damage bolt to any target. The rampaging Baloths serve a similar, if less elegant purpose, creating an army of 4/4 beasts. And my queen, Titania, protector of Argoth, does not reward the land entering, but the land leaving. Every land I sacrifice creates a 5/3 elemental. My engine of destruction builds its own army. Even the smallest pieces contribute to my grand symphony of destruction. The humble Lotus Cobra generates a burst of mana with every land drop, fueling my explosive turns. The ingenious Tiller Engine can either untap the lands I play, or tap down my opponent's pathetic blockers, clearing a path for my army. And Tanuk, Memorial Ensign, slowly bleeds my opponents with every land drop, and rewards me with a card for my efforts. Every action serves my victory. There are certain linchpins to my operation that accelerate my victory beyond comprehension. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, is a masterpiece of Phyrexian design, turning all of my non-token creatures into lands. This means they trigger my Landfall abilities, and I can even sacrifice them to my other abilities for immense value. And then there is the Seedborn Muse. This simple spirit untaps all of my permanents during each other player's turn. With it on the field, I am not merely playing a game of Magic. I am playing 4 games at once, while they are stuck playing 1. Now, for the grand finale, the moment their hope is extinguished in a single glorious turn, I will cast Scapeshift, sacrificing every land I control to summon an equal number from my library, triggering a tidal wave of landfall abilities that will drown them. Or perhaps I'll let my graveyard fill to the brim, then cast Splendid Reclamation to return every single land I've sacrificed directly to the battlefield at once. The Aftermath Analyst provides this same effect on a creature, a delightful surprise for my unsuspecting rivals. When I grow tired of the game, I will simply end it. Planetary Annihilation is not a board wipe. It is a declaration of my superiority. Each player sacrifices all but 6 of their lands, and every creature is burned away. Of course, I can simply replay my lands from my graveyard. They cannot. I can also cast Awaken the Woods, paying all of my mana to turn the very forest into an army of land creatures. And for a final insulting blow, World Soul's Rage will both burn a target to ash and return a mountain of lands from my graveyard to the battlefield. Do you think my victory is left to chance? Fool! My library is not a deck. It is an arsenal, and I have the key to every weapon within it. Demonic Tutor and Vampiric Tutor allow me to retrieve any card I desire, precisely when I need it. Should I require a specific creature to complete my engine, Worldly Tutor will place it directly on top of my library, ready to be drawn. My victory is not a possibility. It is a meticulously planned certainty. Even a mastermind must account for the pathetic meddling of insects. Should they attempt to disrupt my grand design with a board wipe, a simple heroic intervention will render my entire board indestructible and hexproof. Should they target one of my key pieces with a spell, Deflecting Swat will turn their own weapon against them, and I will cast it for free. And should a creature stand in my way, Deadly Rollick will exile it from existence, also for free. Their attempts to interact are futile. Even the very ground I walk upon serves my grand design. The legendary Gaia's Cradle will generate an obscene amount of mana from the army I've created. Should my rivals attempt a desperate final attack, I will retreat to my glacial chasm, a land that makes me immune to all damage. And should they be foolish enough to destroy my commander, Command Beacon allows me to simply return it to my hand, bypassing their pathetic commander tax. There is no escape. So you see, the strategy is simple, even for a mind like yours. I will build my engine. I will treat my lands not as a resource, but as ammunition. I will sacrifice them, recur them, and trigger a landslide of abilities that will bury you. Your solid ground is an illusion. The only thing that is real is my victory, built upon the dust of your shattered world. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a world to unmake.